What's going on, everybody? Don't mind my hair is being messy again today. I don't know. It's got a mind of its own. So here we go. Part two. Let me finish my cigarette. We'll have a discussion along the way. I've already tried to make this video 3 times now. And every time someone's knocked on the door, the phone's rang and shut my video off. And so let's try to get this one done a little quicker, a little faster, and just get right to the points. Okay? So let's start with the new plan for Turtle Island. Right? You keep hearing about a new plan from the government, but nothing ever fucking happens. They want to start saving up in that expenditure pile again. We'll get into that in a minute. So what entails with the new plan? Well, we have to look at the facts. Okay? Every single year, they attack one of our nations. Every year. One after the other. Every year. Not multiple, just one. Every year. They pinpoint, they attack. Send their mercenaries in, or their police, which is going to be halted the second they take office. No longer will RCMP or OPP be allowed to be used as a mercenary group to bully and to steal and to push aside our Turtle Island brothers and sisters. Think about the resources that's being used and the money being spent into these protests and into these police officers and all the gear and the setup and the get up that they need to fucking do these jobs. Millions. Millions is being fucking wasted on it. Still complaining about your paycheck at the end of the week? Still complaining about the educational system and money being taken from your schools? Still complaining about our nurses being mistreated, our truckers being mistreated, our farmers being mistreated, our local businesses being mistreated? We got the money. We just got to stop spending it stupidly. Okay? I've been told for years, we don't have the money to help our homeless. We don't have the money to help our elders. We don't have the money to build better cities, to make it more greener. This is what we've been told and led to believe for years as Canadians. Thanks to COVID, we now know they had hundreds of billions of dollars lying around. And not just that like that, they can fucking create more money. Okay? Now I know what you're going to say. Well, yeah, but Cole, we needed that money for what? Their 2-3 trips to Disneyland? Let me ask you something. Those of you who are actually breaking blood, sweat, and tears to fucking make a paycheck at the end of every week to cover your bills, to put food on your table, to take care of your kids, to take care of your family, to put fucking the roof over your heads. Let me ask you something. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair that they can take 2-3 trips off of your tax dollars that you're putting into the system, but you can't even take one within a year? Not even one? Do you think that's fair? They can go into the expenditure pile and take out hundreds of millions if they choose, without any payback or insurance or any interest or nothing. But yet we can't even go to the banks and do the same. Our children go to colleges and end up in a lifetime of debt. But their kids can go to college and it's paid off like that. Why? Because we're paying it, the tax dollars. Right? This is what I'm tired of. So here's my new plan for Turtle Island. This is going to save us so much money. Because by not putting all that money into the police, we can actually help our vets. We can actually help our elders with drug prescriptions and stuff like that. Another thing that's going to save us money. That's part of the new plan. And that's revisiting the land mass contract. The land that we purchased from these nations. We're going to revisit that. And we're going to actually knock down the lands and give back those lands to those people. So that way we don't have a huge, massive bill at the end of every single year that we have to dish out. We can take that money and put that towards education, put that towards healthcare, put that towards infrastructure, put that towards job creation and job welfare and stuff like that. And unemployment or whatever else we need. Better retirement plans, better insurance plans, better health and dental plans. We can cover even so much more. But we need to find a way to save money. So I got my hefty trusty chalkboard here, and I'm going to show you a little demonstration here, my brothers and sisters. And I hope some of you actually listen to what I have to say. So here is Turtle Island. Here's all the many nations within Turtle Island. Now, my suggestion is for each nation to send out one person each. And out of these people here, we're going to vote, Cree, Mohawk, Ojibwe. We're all going to vote, okay? All of us, Mi'kmaq, Wet'suwet'en, across the board. Which person we want to elect to go further. This person will then handle jobs, will then handle foreign trade, will then handle education, will then handle healthcare, justice system, police force, and most importantly, the creation and build of a new military. That's right. You heard me. Because now Turtle Island is going to be put on the map. They're going to have more land mass given back to them, which will make them bigger into a country. They will then handle their own system, their own justice system, their own police creation, their own education system, their own healthcare system, their own foreign trade, meaning that Turtle Island can now do deals with Russia if they choose. They can do deals with Romania if they choose. They can do business with China if they choose, or Japan if they choose. Okay? And Canada will have nothing to do with it. We'll be there as a helping hand. You just give me the word, I'll be right there to help you out. Sit down, make the phone call, get the meeting started, whatever it takes. But no longer will we, the Canadian people, be wasting tax dollars on, here's the Canadian government. Let's give them horns. They're no longer going to choose one of these nations to attack every single year, because that will put a block to it. Which means money saved. Landmass, money saved once we get back portions of the land. Once they start building up their own treasury and doing their own trade deals and stuff like that, working deals out with us as Canadians for our hydro and stuff like that, money gained, not just money saved. Now, what we can do as Canadians, instead of focusing on this all the time, is start opening up trades for ourselves. Here's Canada. We can start doing trades with Russia. We can start doing trades with China. We can start doing trades with Romania and other countries that are out there in the world. This is what's going to start our job creation. It's part of that plan. We're going to get in that in a minute. But we're no longer going to have to put money into these senseless, needless things anymore. We're going to be able to put them into the programs and the things we need that should have been dealt with and taken care of years ago, but we were told we never had the money. Thank you, COVID. It's the only thing that we can be thankful about for COVID, is it really truly showed us how much money the government has been taking to the bank, spending it on themselves, buying $35,000 hotel rooms, fucking buying $1,000 plate meals, going to these fundraisers for $50,000 a seat, $10,000 a plate of food. Can all come to an end. But we have to elect someone normal who knows how to budget and who is loyal as fuck and will not receive a bribe or paycheck. Hi, my name is Cole Holmes. I hope you vote for me. So, we're going to recognize them as a country. We're going to put them on the Atlas map. We're going to fucking utilize them. And this doesn't mean that Mohawks now have to follow the lead of the Cree and the Cree of the Blackfoot and the Blackfoot of the Mi'kmaq and the Mi'kmaq of the Ojibwe and now we're going to forget all their laws and we're going to make new laws. It doesn't mean that at all. What it means is that Mohawk will still be Mohawk. Their language, their traditions, their laws for their lands will be respected and remain the same. Same goes for the Cree. Same goes for the Ojibwe. Same goes for the Blackfoot. And there's many other more. But I'm just using these as an example. The only difference here now is, with this other party here, this person who's going to handle all the trades, the foreign, the jobs, the school, and all that, is they're going to help them by setting up parties of their own, which will go in and say one or two people. And they're going to create a party within this system. And they're going to decide and help this person decide what's the best decision to make when it comes to doing foreign trade or new deals or having someone come in and start a business on our land and what they would have to go through, setting up a regimen of different programs and stuff of their own. So for suicide and drug addiction, alcoholism and stuff like that, they can set up for these programs because now they'll have their own treasury that will have zero ties with America or Canada at all. Zero. Right? Except for the money they're going to put in for trade with Canada or America if they choose to do so. But that'll be their choice. We're not going to use our military to go in and pick them off. Or should I say our mercenaries. Our police force. So by doing this and by taking these steps is going to secure Turtle Island as a country, recognized as a country, and we're going to be able to move forward as a country with the respect we deserve as a country. Okay? That's the new plan. Simple, basic, and it saves money on either side. Now we can put in the programs, each of us, that help our people instead of ourselves. Right? That's what you're going to get with me as a Prime Minister. Someone who moves in this direction. So, what does this mean for jobs for Canada? Well, now that we don't have to constantly put into these quarrels, we can now start focusing on things that matter. Like right now, America is preventing Canada from doing a lot of business deals throughout the world. And what I mean by that is they're not going to use military and shit like that. I'm talking about these rich fucking pompous pukes bullying each other into submission. And that's what's happening. In Canada, fortunately, with a pussy like Trudeau, who can't even fight away out of a wet paper bag, he gets one boxing match and quits because he lost, isn't going to cut the deal. That's going to benefit us. So what Canada has to do is still do deals with America. Don't get me wrong. We'll still go hand in hand. But we're now going to branch out to even those who America doesn't get along with, like Iraq, Russia, and one that I think needs to be looked at more, for especially for farm-wise and everything, is the Romanian people. But there's also the Italians and all these other people that we are going to start opening up to all these other countries. This is going to be an influx of jobs and job creation. But it doesn't end there. But Cole, you're only helping the immigrants that are going to come here and take our start jobs. We have to work for them. And no. Because at the same time, is I'm going to make it more affordable to start a business. Or to even upkeep a business, or to even manage a business. We're going to go back to that list of paper here, the list that says you can't do this, you can't do that, you got to put 100-something thousand into it in order for this to be declared a business. And we're going to start knocking down a lot of the stupidity that's taking place within there. That prevents me or any regular person from being able to go to our local town hall and just start a business at an affordable price and not so many restrictions and red tape or anything like that. It's going to, and we're going to be there to help them. That's going to be the most important part. The government is, now that we're not going to be spending so much money on this stupid shit like landmass with Turtle Island, you're looking at a good $50-60 million we're going to save. So why don't we take that $60 million and help it into developing new businesses started by Canadians or people who come to Canada and want to start up. We make it more affordable. So that way they can do all these things and we can create more jobs. But we'll never be able to do that with the rich people we have in power now because all they care about is this. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. And COVID proved it for years that this is the way it's been. When it didn't affect them, we didn't have the money to save lives. But now that we have a virus that could affect them, now all of a sudden it's all hands on deck. Money's no option. And they're using unvaxxed and vaxxed to keep us fighting so we don't see this. That for years that they've had this money. And for years they've been squandering it on themselves rather than putting it into where it's supposed to go. Not to mention, we still don't know which one of these people actually had ties with Epstein. So the very people that are telling us what to do with COVID could be the very same people who are touching children. Which would probably explain why they're so gung-ho on giving COVID and this vaccine to children. And why they don't care if it kills them or not. It explains it all. There's someone here someone here that has something to do with Epstein. And they have the same mindset as Epstein, where children are of no consequence to them. Why? Because all they care about is back to the dollar bill sign. Sorry. Ooh, it's getting dusty. So that's how we're going to create jobs. We're going to start opening up to other countries. And we're going to start, and I think this is very important that we open up to Russia. And why is that goal? Why is it so important we open up to Russia? Well, let me show you something here. Here's the world. This is Earth, okay? Here's Earth. Well, right now, between land masses, resources, and minerals and all that, if Russia and Canada were to work hand in hand as partners, we would own a quarter of the planet. And not just to own a quarter of the planet, but it's waters, fresh waters anyways. It's minerals, right? It's lumber. Like the list goes on and on that we would own within this section of the planet. And we already have deals with this section, and the bottom section, which is Antarctica, we don't have deals with. But we have other few countries that we're just not doing business with because they refuse to live our way of life. Well, last I checked, it's not up to us to bully anyone into submission in order to make a deal. Last I checked, that was criminal. So we're going to stop that. And this is why it's so important that Canada and Russia work together. Do you guys remember Fort McMurray? How much burned? The livelihoods that were lost? Did you know that Russia was offering to send over fleets of fucking troops to fucking help us put that fire out before it even hit your town, Fort McMurray? Did you know that? That they were willing to come in and put a stop to it before it even touched any of your houses or your cars? Let alone your family portraits you lost. The livelihoods, period, that you just lost. Needlessly. We could have dealt with it. But because Russia refuses to submit to our way of life, we're not going to do business with them. That's corporate bullying is what that is. And we're not going to do that no more. We're going to open up those lines of contact and phone calls, and we're going to get Putin over here to have come visit Canada, and I'm going to go over there and visit them on my dollar. I'll save up the money, don't worry. It'll take me a while, but I'll save it up and I'll do it on my dollar. And let's fucking have a real sit down and a heart-to-heart between us and Russia. Because it makes no zero sense. The jobs that could flood into Canada and the jobs that would flood in from Russia, okay? It makes zero sense. That's a huge money loss by not doing this deal. By not working together. Because the minerals and the gas and the oil and everything combined, the fresh water, the lumber, the people in itself, we could do such amazing things together. If we can just learn to respect each other. Well, we already heard from Russia. We already heard from Putin during Fort McMurray how he was willing to be there, to be our brother. Never mind Mother Russia, it was Brother Russia at that time, or Sister Russia, during the Fort McMurray fires, right? They proved where they stood. It's Canada that refuses to even budge in that direction. That won't even take the chance. Which I think is a shame. Because what's the number one climate changing fucking factor on this planet that we still deal with and we're constantly trying to fucking fight off? Is that big enough for you? Huh? Forest fires. Well, if you're only sending in a few thousand people just to put out a massive fire that's thousands of miles long, you're not going to get very far. But if you had two militaries and both firefighters leading those militaries into the fucking flames, guarantee you would get stopped within a week, not even a day. I'm almost willing to guarantee it. Think of the money and the resources saved. And the money we're going to get from those resources later on, or the money that Turtle Islanders are going to get from those resources later on, that we could be utilizing and saving together. And not just for us, but for our future generations, our kids. And that's why it's important that we get on board with working with Russia. Because that's a lot of oil companies and stuff for all you Albertans out there. That's a lot of companies that can be moving into your land and helping you guys build and develop. That can go for the same for Ontario, BC, everywhere. But with Turtle Island now working as its own independent, they will have to go to those reservations or that to the federal person they choose and make the deal. Canada is not going to be allowed to just bully them out of the way. We're going to be blocked because we're going to make it law. They make their own deals from now on. So if this company over here, he's not going to be able to go here and bully here. He's going to have to go here and make a deal there. And he's going to have to come here and make a deal here. Just like any other fucking business out there. So, jobs, very simple solution. We just got to start fucking really moving towards these ways. This is the right way and we need to move towards it. Common sense always wins. Plain and simple. Now, I mentioned mandates. So let's hope we can get this one out quick. Mandates. What do I mean by that? Well, right now, Justin Trudeau makes $6,700 plus dollars a week. I'm putting a stop to that. That goes for the other provincial leaders. They're making about close to $6,000. Close. A week. Do the math. And I don't mean just this. You got to remember, there's a lot of politicians that are making this money. Find out. Go online. Look it up. Find the number. I want you to do this. This is your own little project for you to do at home. I want you to find how many, right? And, how many and how much. Okay, this is a little project for you guys at home. I've already done this and it's fucking made me sick to my stomach when I saw the actual number on my phone, when I calculated it all. How many people and how much are they making? Take the leaders and their underlings, just them alone, and find out how much. I guarantee you, you're going to be at Parliament tomorrow trying to rip them out of that fucking office. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, but Cole, they do deals, they do trades, they're supposed, they need to have, they shouldn't get this money because of how much they do. Well, number one, no. A leader should never be there about the money. It should always be the people first. You know where you get your democracy from here in Canada, folks? You stole it from the Turtle Islanders. When they first came here, you were living under a king. And then you saw the way my people were living, and you decided to adopt and adapt democracy within to your own society. That's fine, but you're running it wrong. Let somebody who knows how it's supposed to be run it, so you can start living the life you always dreamt. So you can go to work every week and see, wow, that's an awesome paycheck. I think my package is here. So, first mandate. Okay? Pay cut. Automatic. I, as your Prime Minister, will only be making $600 a week. Anyone under me, like provincial leaders, $500. The reason why this is important these numbers is because what it's going to show is to the rest of you Canadian people and our Turtle Island, my Turtle Islander brothers and sisters, what it's going to show is how much they've been stealing from you. Because with that paycheck, they can't afford 2-3 homes, a vineyard in France, and a fucking cottage up north, as well as the 6 cars, putting their kids in college, taking family trips multiple times throughout the year. They're not going to be able to afford these things. And I know what you're going to say. Well, Cole, they have the expenditure pile. Well, that brings me into my second part of my list, because that is getting eradicated. The only money that we are going to take within the government, right, is the money we need, not the money we want. Okay? So no, I don't think it's right that they're taking this much money from us, or that I would be taking that much money from you, $6,700 a week. When we got children living under bridges, eating out of garbage cans, when we got adults and elders doing the same, veterans, people who fucking were willing to die for us are doing the same. So no, I will not be that leader who, oh, I feel like I deserve this. No. I'm going into this knowing that I don't deserve it. You deserve it. And you know how I know that? Because I was the guy who worked in the shops. I was the guy beside you working the cook line. I was the guy beside you helping take care of the property, weed whacking, lawn mowing, the whole works, rock wall building. I'm that guy. I'm not one of them. So that's how you know I'm here for you. Because I want this best for when I get out of politics that I can achieve and that I can grow with my family and that my kids can do the same. And your kids too. So, something that needs to happen other than government pay cuts and eradicating the expenditure pile that they keep taking this money from, 2 things have to happen. One's going to be in the international company department. The other one's going to be in the interprovincial companies. Okay? 2 new mandates are going to go into play. Take Amazon or Walmart for an example. They make over $1 billion a year. Right? That's a B. Why? How is it so difficult for them to take off just a little bit of that B and give that back to the people that help create that B? Right? So an incentive. Every year, the annual take of a company that is an international company or an interprovincial company, which means they're only based here in Canada, but they are in several of the provinces, we're going to make sure that they take, well, they only make millions, to be honest, but still, that's millions of dollars. We're going to make sure that some of that gets back as well. Okay? So every year, you're going to make an annual bonus check off their yearly annual, sorry, I'll put a Y just so you know, yearly annual, income. So if they're pulling, so here's the pie. Here's what we get as it stands within a company. That's the workers. That's the people who build the products. That's the people who box the product. That's the people who send out and ship the product. And that is the people who purchase the product. This is what we get out of that pie. I am going to mandate it so that way a quarter of that pie is what we get. I'm going to mandate it so they have to give an annual, say their annual income is, say, $160 billion. That's usual, that's pretty rough. Or, sorry, not billion, million. Okay? Well, what's so wrong with them giving that $60 million back to its workers across the board? That still leaves them with $100 million fucking dollars. And you got to keep in mind, we're not just doing this newcomer companies and stuff like that. What I'm talking about are companies who already have billions, if not trillions, of fucking dollars. So that mandate's got to go into effect. So yeah, I'm all done with that now. That mandate has to go into effect because only then will you or anyone else who's now relying on unemployment or CERB and become comfortable with the lives they've lived for fucking 2 years now, basically. This will give them the incentive to go back to work, knowing that at the end of every single year that they work for this company, they're going to get a nice chunky bonus check that's going to go towards Christmas. It's going to go towards fixing your car. It's going to go towards finally catching up on your bills. It's going to finally be able to put your kids in the programs or activities they wanted to always do, but you can never afford to do before. This means that when you go to work at the end of the week, you're going to make more money because we're taking less taxes. So that's my other part of my plan. I still haven't gotten into education, healthcare, police, and nurses, and truckers, and stuff like that. I really want to go into detail about that. So I am going to be making another video on that before I do my official campaign video, which I'm probably going to need some help with. So if anybody's out there who knows anything about computers and technology and getting the campaign video made, I could really use your help. But this is the plan. Just the major plans that we need to change, that we need to fix. It would save us millions and hundreds of millions of dollars and create billions of dollars as well as millions of jobs. And our proper care will be finally handed over to our educational system, getting it more advanced, more technological, more futuristic. We're going to be able to put into our, like I said, our colleges. So many people who are sitting on welfare, so many people who are working these hard-ass fucking jobs don't even need to be because they're super geniuses when it comes to geography or biography or biology or astrology or law or philosophy or psychology. There's people that are super geniuses in these that are stuck now because they couldn't get a high school degree because they sucked at everything else. This makes zero fucking sense. We need to start building a country based off skills, not based off of what you believe is intelligence. Because like I always say, everyone, oh, Cole, you're a genius. No. Because then you got to sit here and define genius for me. Because as smart as I am when it comes to law, politics, astrology, stuff like this, I guarantee you there's someone out there, like I know jack shit about mechanics. Now, if you put a mechanic who's got, say, 20 years under his belt, or even a day under his belt, who's the fucking genius then? The guy who knows jack shit or the guy that can fix your fucking car in a heartbeat? So you gotta really define genius. Because genius, everyone's a fucking genius. You can find the laziest, most biggest loser on this planet, and guess what? You found the fucking genius. Well, what do you mean, Cole? How is this person a genius? Biggest loser? Biggest dummy. Find someone better. He's already got 2 up on you. Or she's already got 2 up on you. Find someone better. Because otherwise, they just beat you. They beat me. Now who's the genius? So we really got to start focusing on this, opening up our colleges for people even without high school degrees. Yes, a high school degree will be helpful and it'll get you into probably better colleges, but it should only be as a reference for now on. It shouldn't be used as the all to, okay, now you can go to college. No. Someone who's super smart at fucking fixing laptops. I know someone that like this is sitting at home on welfare. His apartment's filled right to the fucking almost to the ceiling in laptops because the guy just fixes them nonstop every day. People bring this guy their laptops and he gets it fucking done and even brings it back better. Why isn't this person in IT? Why isn't this person gone to college yet or university? Oh, he doesn't have a high school degree. Now we got to make him go back to high school and get a high school degree before he can go and do this. Right there causes a problem within the person's mindset that I don't want to go through the hassle. You already put the brick wall up. You just made it impossible. We're going to take that away. We're going to open it up. Which means college students, you're not going to be paying so much to go to fucking college. Why? Because there's going to be a flooding of people going to college, which means we can charge you less, start charging less across the board, because we're going to make it up in numbers of the number of people attending college now. That means that lifetime debts, okay, on the chart are going to start going down. The more and more people that sign up, the more and more it's going to go down. So by the time, say you're 20, you're in college and you're done at 25, well, by 30, you're already out of debt. Like I said, I'm not perfect by fucking far. But I am the best choice we have right now. The only one who's willing to actually put things right, not take a bribe, and tell you exactly what's going on. So guys, that's the little bit of my video for today. I'm drinking my usual Monster. They don't sponsor me, but they should. And we're going to have another video coming up soon. And again, my campaign video is going to be coming up soon too, because I've had enough. I've had enough. Just in Cornwall recently, they just voted down putting a homeless shelter, but yet we got people living by the St. Lawrence, fucking, and they won't even build a homeless shelter. So when they die in the winter, are they going to be held accountable? But yet they're the ones who stopped them from being saved. They're the ones who actually ended their fucking lives because they had the option to put the homeless shelter, which would have saved their lives. But because, that's money out of our own pocket that we could have just kept for ourselves, fuck them. Do they have COVID? No, fuck them then. Because the only thing they care about is themselves. So guys, have a great, beautiful day. Remember, I'm running. I need 150 electoral votes. Once I get my ink on Friday, I'm going to fill up my printer. I'm going to print out everything I need, fill everything out. It's getting sent out, and I'm going to be looking for votes. You want to make a difference? You finally want to fucking put things right and just fuck this entire system royally, right over. Just burn it to the ground. Here I am, Cole Holmes. See you guys later.